Hey everybody, Scott Brown here with day 2 of Darren LaCroix's 90-day Facebook challenge. And I'm excited today because last night I got to go to a storytelling workshop, and it's in preparation for Fort Wayne's Trapdoor storytelling show that happens in January, March, and May. And I got to go and present a story and start telling my story here in Fort Wayne. And I asked the organizers last night, why do you guys put on these shows here? Because you're the only ones in town that put on a storytelling show. And I was surprised at how they didn't have a great reason other than, hey, these are fun to do. And I started to think about why I tell my story and why other people tell their stories. And I was reminded of a TEDx talk that I watched a few years ago by a guy named Michael Jr. And he gave a TEDx talk in Nevada. And he said something that very much changed my perception of how I organize my world. He said that for years he had done stand-up comedy, and he did it because he wanted to get laughs from people. He wanted the audience to laugh at what he was saying. But one day as he was walking on stage, he had an epiphany and his mindset changed. And instead of trying to get laughs from people, he all of a sudden decided that he wanted to give people the opportunity to laugh. He wanted to give people the opportunity to laugh. It's a different mindset. And over the years that I've worked with leaders and I climbed the corporate ladder, I've seen really two different ways why people tell their story. They either want people to recognize them for what they've done, or people tell their stories because they want to give people an opportunity to recognize what they've done. And there's two different mindsets there. All of us have a story to tell. And all of us tell a story every day with our actions, with our words, with our priorities, with our time. But what story are you telling? Are you telling a story where you want people to look at you and give you praise and recognition for all that you've accomplished, for what you have, for what you can provide? Or are you telling your story because you want to help? Are you telling your story because you know that maybe your journey will influence somebody else's life, will impact somebody else's story, and maybe you'll be an inspiration by example? And those are two very different mindsets. I was surprised with some of the comments that I got last night after I did this first video of people that were inspired to say, hey, I wanted to do that, but I've been scared to do it, so maybe I'm going to try it. We'll see how yours goes and see what you have to say. All I have to say to all of you is tell your story. But as you tell your story, remember, your audience is always listening. And it's not just the people in front of you, it's the people around you, it's the people who experience you in a myriad of ways every day. What you tell them about what matters to you is going to greatly impact the influence you have over others. So tell your story. Find a venue to tell your story. Find a way to tell your story. But most of all, just go out and tell your story. And remember, it doesn't matter how good you look. It matters how much good you do to help others take that next step. Hey, this is Scott Brown. This was day 2 of the 90-day challenge, and I will see you here again tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.